Hi everyone. Today I'm going to make a very simple custard that is carnivore so that you can have a dessert for Thanksgiving. My name is Anita and this is my channel where I show you how I've lost over 145 pounds following an animal-based ketogenic way of eating. Okay, Thanksgiving is coming and I'm starting to get people asking me, well, what could I make for a dessert that is carnivore friendly? There's actually quite a few choices. I have several on a previous video that I did. You know, some of them are sort of bordering into ketovore, but they're certainly carnivore-ish. But this one is probably the most carnivore, so I'm gonna make it on its own today. A very simple custard. Custard only has 3 ingredients: eggs, cream, I've already got my cream heating up in the pot behind me, and a pinch of salt. If you want to be a little more adventurous, if you're willing to go into a little bit of ketovore territory, keto territory, you can add some pumpkin spice seasoning, gingerbread seasoning, something like that, cinnamon, nutmeg. I do have a homemade clean pumpkin spice seasoning that I used to make every year. I don't use it so much anymore, but you can make it. You save tons of money making your own seasonings and spice mixes. I will link that below because it's basically, you know, already things you probably have in your spice cabinet. And a lot of times when you buy pumpkin spice seasoning or gingerbread spice seasoning at the store, it has sugar in it. So this one won't. But this is optional. This is only for if you're trying to make this for a special occasion. So the basic formula for custard is 1 cup of liquid to 1 egg. If you have problems with egg whites, you can do it with egg yolks. So it would be 1 cup of liquid to 2 egg yolks. And that's your basic formula. I have always preferred just using the egg yolk. So I have 4 egg yolks in here, and I've got 2 cups of heavy cream simmering, not quite simmering, but heating up on the stove. I've got my oven preset to 325 Fahrenheit. So what I'm going to do now is combine everything. This is all there is. Oh, I forgot to mention in here with the pumpkin spice seasoning that I have in here, I have some vanilla powder. Also optional. That is it. I'm not using any sweetener. I actually like custard the way it is without the sweetener. You can feel free to add some. If you're going to add some, I would maybe recommend stevia extract or allulose, or even maybe glycine, which is not even a sweetener. It's an amino acid that some carnivores use for sweetening. If you are one of those people that sweet tastes trigger you, just try it like this because you might like it, and especially if you top it with some unsweetened whipped cream, you know, for your presentation of it at your Thanksgiving dinner. It actually does taste sweet. And you may be the only one eating it and everyone else is going to do pumpkin pie or cheesecake or whatever it is they're going to do. You're going to wake up the next morning with 0 regrets and still feel satisfied, still feel like you had, you know, a nice dessert afterwards. And that's the goal of this. So I'm just going to check on my cream to see if it's hot enough, and then I'll show you how I mix it with the egg yolks, and then we'll get it in the oven. Oh, speaking of the oven, I'm making some in a pan, and I'm going to make 2 ramekins. I'm doing it in a water bath, so I'm just gonna turn on the kettle. I like to put the hot water in ahead of time so that it's not cold water going into the oven, then it doesn't take as long. It will be in the oven for about 30 minutes. So let me just get the kettle on, check my cream, and then we'll combine this together. Cream is actually done. Okay, so my cream is ready. So basically with the cream, you just heat it up on medium heat until it's almost going to boil, and then you turn it off. So it's very hot. You don't want to just dump the eggs in there. So I'm just going to grab the hot water. I'm just going to put my hot water in here. Some people heat the hot water up in the pan in the oven ahead of time, but I just feel like it's more efficient to do it with the kettle. So what I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit of cream to the egg. Just kind of mix this in. Just going to add this a little bit at a time. I still have to add my spice mix there and a pinch of salt. The reason for doing it so slow is you don't want to cook the egg. You don't want to have egg lumps. You could strain it afterward, just in case. I never do. This is about the simplest way to make this. This would have been the way my mom would have made pudding or custard, and my grandma. No need to add any other ingredients really, except for if you want a little bit of that fall spice flavor, pumpkin pie spice. When did pumpkin pie spice become such a thing? It seems like everybody, Starbucks and all the coffee places, it's become such a big deal. Okay, so we have a nice yellowish, creamy liquid here, which is what we want. I'm going to put in a pinch of salt. The salt kind of brings out the natural sweetness of the cream. Okay, if you're carnivore, this is where you stop. You can just make it just like this, and I certainly have many times in the past. I'm giving it that Thanksgiving theme today. I think it'll be really good. But that is optional. All right, let's pour this in. Leave room for the unsweetened whipped cream on these ramekins. I'm going to take this whole thing, put it in the oven for about 30 minutes. Okay, I'll see you back here in about 30 minutes and we'll take a look at our custard. Okay, this was 30 minutes, 325. It looks pretty good. You don't want it to be watery or anything. I'm thinking this looks about perfect. So now what I need to do is put them in the fridge. They need to chill thoroughly, and then we're going to come back and give it a taste test. Okay, so all the custard has been chilling in the fridge for the last couple of hours. The big one is still warm, but these two small ones are good. So here's what I do if I'm serving this. Usually I'm just serving it to myself, and there's one brave son that would probably try this. Everybody else usually gets something else, so let's be honest about that. But if you have a family or friends that are willing, here's how I would do it. You get this little pumpkin pie custard, put some whipping cream on it. That is unsweetened. I whipped it while this was cooling, and it's a pretty decent little dessert. I could even dust a little bit of cinnamon on top, just for that extra flair, or nutmeg, something like that. Now, this is going to be tricky for me. I'm going to take the tiniest of bites because I'm actually not doing dairy or eggs right now. This is dairy and eggs, so just hang on. I'm going to take a little bite. This won't ruin me. The nice thing about these types of desserts is that because there's no sweeteners in them, they don't trigger cravings for more. I am fine with taking a bite and moving on with my life. The rest of everything that I made is going in the freezer. I don't have Thanksgiving coming up because I've done that already. Oh, I wanted to show you I'm going to totally ruin this for the next person who's going to eat it, but I just wanted to show the creamy texture. So there's the texture of it. Probably could use another hour, but it's a custard. This does not trigger cravings in me. It actually fills me up quite a bit. I'll be saving this for my son's girlfriend's birthday because they're all coming up here for a dessert that night. I will have this.
I can hardly wait to have that.
That is so good. Just that hint of pumpkin pie spice, no sweetener, but yet the whipped cream on top just gives it that nice, not sweet mouthfeel, but you almost feel like you're having a decadent dessert. So I really hope you give it a try. I hope that those of you who are thinking about, trying strict carnivore, maybe you're waiting till after Christmas, or probably you're waiting for after Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that is fine. But you can get to this point too, where you can enjoy a dessert that doesn't have sugar, doesn't have sweeteners even, and that'll be the beginning of your new life, I promise you. So thank you for watching, and I hope you give this easy dessert a try. See you guys next time.
I was too hesitant. Hang on. Can I do that again? Take a look at it.